Hello, everybody. Dr. Nick Galli, mental performance consultant for the U.S. Speed Skating National Teams here with you. And I want to talk to you in this video a little bit about failure and how, even though it's something that none of us particularly enjoy, we can and actually have to learn how to leverage it to our advantage. This may be a scene that you're familiar with. The young boy or girl learning how to skate for the first time. You get out there all excited. It's so much fun. Everyone's skating around. And before you know it, the first time you go out there, you're falling on your butt. And you get up and you fall on your butt again. And you get up and you make it a little bit further and you fall on your butt again. Of course, the lesson here is you have to be able to fall before you can learn how to walk, or in this case, learn how to skate. There's just no way around it. And it doesn't even really take that much instruction, right? For those of you who have had kids or seen kids learn how to do some of these basic fundamental motor skills, they don't necessarily have to be given a lot of instruction. They learn through trial and error. And I think this is a really beautiful thing that somehow over time, as adults, we fall out of touch with. And a lot of us who are high achievers uh, adopt the expectation that we have to achieve perfection or even proficiency very quickly, and that failing is not an option. Maybe you're familiar with this saying that fail can actually be turned into a phrase called first attempts in learning. And just as with skating or walking, uh, you'll have lots of first attempts in learning. And even sometimes after you've learned, we can expect that you're going to fail. It's going to happen. It's a part of being a performer at any level. And it's really the best to learn how to take their failures and use them to their advantage. I always say when I work with my clients, whether it's with the national team, Olympic level speed skaters, or youth or high school athletes, I want you to fail. I don't care that you fail. In fact, you failing is a part of your learning process, as we just discussed. I actually care much more about why you fail. And so here on this slide, I want to give you two lists. The first list might seem a little bit silly, but these are good reasons for failure. Number one, going for it. So sometimes we hear about this as a hustle mistake, a mistake made in the act of trying to be aggressive or make a move. I'm good with these mistakes as long as you learn from them. I'm good with those failures. Another failure or reason for failure that we might see is just simply being the victim or on the other side of an exceptional player, an exceptional performance by the opposition. You may go into a competition with an expectation of having a certain finishing at a certain standing, and that just might be prevented by someone else's excellence, because outcome and place is something that is inherently out of our control. That's an okay reason as long as you went out there and performed to the best of your ability. And then the last one I call strategic experimentation. Sometimes we use competitive situations as an opportunity to try new things, try new techniques or strategies strategically, usually in conjunction with a coach. And we can't expect that right off the bat we're going to be successful. Sometimes the failure is a part of you modulating and learning how to adapt to these changes that you've made that ultimately in the long run are going to be to your benefit. So I would qualify all these as really good reasons for failure. Then there are reasons that aren't so good, like fear. So you've probably heard the term playing not to lose versus playing to win. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Fear is the same thing as playing not to lose or playing not to make a mistake. How do you know when this is happening? It's really apparent in younger athletes, especially in certain sports, because every time they make a mistake, their heads turn. Where do their heads turn? To look to see what their coach's reaction or what their parents' reaction is. That is a person who is more concerned with what's going on in someone else's head versus what they need to be doing in that moment. Of course, lack of effort and lack of preparation are two other really bad reasons to fail. So again, it's not about that you fail, it's about why you fail. So my main piece of feedback here is that you really need to take the time, if and when you do fail, to extract the feedback from that failure. Much in the same way that someone panning for gold and coming up with a big bucket of rocks and mud and sediment would need to really sift through that sediment and all those other worthless minerals to get to the desired flakes of gold. And the flakes of gold, for our purposes, are the lessons and the information that we can use for later. Just like the gold is going to be valuable to us, the feedback that we get from our failures, from falling down and getting back up again, that's the gold for us. That's what's going to get us to the level that we want to be. I think it's only appropriate that we close with probably the best quote ever about failure in sports from the legendary Michael Jordan, who said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Hopefully you've learned some things in this video that will help you take that same approach to your failures. Thanks for listening.